In the blistering 30 degrees Celsius Australian summer, these grapes will quickly go off. In the old days, guys would take off their socks and shoes and start shredding. These days, they use giant crushers, each capable of squashing 100 tons of grapes per hour. From Chardonnay to Cabernet, Semillon to Shiraz, during peak season, over 150 trucks a day empty up to 7,000 tons of grapes into these machines. Coordinating this mayhem is a huge headache for Managing Director John Casella.
The main challenge we continue to have is logistics, where 10% of Australia's grapes going to one single site. So you could imagine the sheer volume of fruit, 180,000 tonne. To put that into perspective, is about 3.5 times the weight of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Counter-rotating augers move a whole lorry load of grapes into the crusher in just 25 minutes. But they do nothing to remove the pesky stalks. These are taken care of by spinning paddles, which cut them from the grapes. The stalks then drop onto a conveyor below the crusher and are dumped in huge piles. The paths of red and white wine now divide. All grapes have translucent flesh, so both white and red grapes can be crushed to extract the clear juices used to make white wine. Red wine gets its colour and flavour from the phenols in the red grape skins. So crushed red grapes with the skins still mixed in are piped away for first stage red wine fermentation. It's here that senior winemaker Michael Slater takes his first slurp of the day.
We're looking for the potential of the wine at this very early stages at the moment, but you can still get a good idea of what it's going to taste like. It's got some nice spicy, peppery Shiraz characters. Looks really good at this early stage.
White wine is different. The skins contain tannins and other substances which affect the flavour and colour of white wine. So these unwanted chemicals are removed in 16 massive bag presses, which together process over 700 tonnes of fruit an hour. As they rotate, inflatable bags inside the machines force the grapes against a perforated screen. This sieves out most of the skins and leaves the frothy juice needed to make white wine. And Michael helps himself to drink number 2 of the morning.
Look at that. I know it doesn't look very pretty, but I want to make sure it tastes okay and there's nothing wrong with it. Foamy. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for fruit flavours, and I want to taste it. I want to make sure it's all balanced. The acidity is balanced, the sweetness is there. And that's where the skill of a winemaker is.
But this frothy brew is a long way from something you would serve up with your fish supper. Any remaining seeds and particles of plant matter are removed by these rotary vacuum drum filters. As they turn, the vacuum sucks the pressed juice through a mesh. Any bits in the liquid are trapped on a filter that runs around the drum. While the drum rotates, the gunk is scraped off by this knife and discarded. The clarified juice is then piped away and stored for white wine fermentation. Fermentation of white and red wine takes place in massive steel tanks, some holding over 1 million litres. The fermentation manager is Alistair Wilkie.
I think we have something like 120 1 million litre tanks and about 700 other assorted tanks, which is a lot of storage for a lot of wine.
Yeast is added to each tank. The living yeast feeds off the sugar in the grape juices and excretes alcohol, with the different grapes creating different flavours.